with the prayer Sahana Bhavatu.
सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः।
Bhagavad Gita, chapter number 13. We'll chant verses 10 to 15.
असक्तिरनभिष्वङ्गः पुत्रदारगृहादिषु नित्यं च समचित्तत्वम् इष्टानिष्टोपपत्तिषु मयि चानन्ययोगेन भक्तिरव्यभिचारिणी विविक्तदेशसेवित्वम् अरतिर्जनसंसदि अध्यात्मज्ञाननित्यत्वम् तत्त्वज्ञानार्थदर्शनम् एतज्ज्ञानमिति प्रोक्तम् अज्ञानम् यदतोऽन्यथा ज्ञेयम् यत्तत् प्रवक्ष्यामि यज्ञात्वामृतमश्नुते अनादिमत्परम् ब्रह्म न सत्तन्नासदुच्यते सर्वतः पाणिपादं तत् सर्वतोक्षिशिरोमुखम् सर्वतः श्रुतिमल्लोके सर्वमावृत्य तिष्ठति सर्वेन्द्रियगुणाभासम् सर्वेन्द्रियविवर्जितम् असक्तं सर्वभृच्चैव निर्गुणं गुणभोक्तृ च।
Last week we studied 4 qualities of a jnani, wise person. Quality number 7, 8, 9 and 10. So quality number 7 was purity, shaucham. So we saw what it means. Our mission in life is to purify our personality. So what do we mean by purification? We have to improve the quality of our desires to begin with. That pyramid of desires. It's a very useful chart. And the ultimate aim of any sadhak, any seeker, is to eliminate desires. So that's the ultimate aim, the ultimate goal. But it starts with purification of desires. So the entire spiritual journey is nothing but we have to purify our desires. And when all the desires are completely eliminated, it's a state of self-realization or God realization. And also we discussed what it means if you are at the bottom of the pyramid. If the quality of desires is not so good, all egocentric desires, it will keep on producing stress, worry and anxiety. The quality of your life is compromised. But as you launch on the spiritual journey, start putting efforts with this knowledge to purify your desires, you'll be more peaceful person, calm, content, also dynamic. As you offload your selfish desires, you become more dynamic and also peaceful. So the quality of your life improves. And then end of the pyramid is the ultimate state of God realization or self-realization. So that was quality number 7, purity. Then the next quality was steadfastness. So you have to have that conviction to begin with. Why should I follow spiritual path? And once that conviction comes, the effect of that conviction is you will be consistent in your efforts. Then next quality was self-control. So we discussed that in detail. Self-control is not frustrating yourself. It is not self-denial. Usually it is misunderstood as you torture yourself. So it is command on your senses. The moment sense objects they start interfering with your spiritual goal, then you soft pedal on such activities. So you have to decide where you have to exercise self control. I can't tell you, nobody can tell you. You have to tell yourself. And when you live a life of self control, along with this knowledge, it's a practice. Self control is a practice. Slowly but surely, you develop dispassion towards sense objects. So that was quality number 10, which we discussed. So you understand the hollowness of what objects and beings of the world they have to offer. So it's not a practice, it is a state. See, just as we all have understood the hollowness of the toy world, isn't it? We may play with children and all that, but our happiness is not dependent on the toy world. You may win, you may lose. What's the big deal? So, similarly, a seeker, a spiritual person, has understood the hollowness of what world has to offer. And also another analysis was from practical point of view, if you start indulging in sense objects, what happens? So it is sense objects are described as wombs of sorrow. We use that expression, is from Bhagavad Gita. So you don't see what is lurking behind these sensual indulgences, like food, simple example. You may like food, what's wrong with that? But if you go on indulging in food every other day, once in a while is okay, what's the big deal? You know, there is no point frustrating yourself. But morning, noon, night, if you start indulging in food which is not good for your health, what will happen? At that moment, you don't understand what's happening. So you may end up with being whatever, physically unfit or obese. So no. Few times in a week, I am going for my physiotherapy. The last like few months, I'm fighting frozen shoulder. And the therapist is a very nice guy, very knowledgeable. So he's telling me, you are the fittest person, my patient. Among my patients, you are most fit. But you are taking maximum time to recover. He's saying, I don't understand this contradiction. He's saying, perhaps that's the price you are paying for being fit. So your capsules, they become a bit tight if you are fit, which is good in a way. But he's saying people who are not fit, everything is loose. Frozen shoulder, in no time they recover. I said, then should I become unfit now? No, I don't know. So he was describing some of his patients who are 450, 470, 480 pounds in weight. I mean, I don't know whether they're human beings or what, must be human beings only. How can anybody become that size? And we're not talking about people, like sometimes you could be having, from birth, you could be having that. What is it called? Congenital diseases, right? That could be the condition. No, he's not talking about that. People who have indulged in food, alcohol, whatever, whole life. So after 15, 20, 30 years, they become 450, 470 pounds. Wombs of sorrow. You get the point. So we don't have to become 450 pounds. Even 25 pounds you put on, you know by your own experience, how do you feel, isn't it? You like glass of wine, alcohol once in a while, it's okay. I mean, if you feel that's what gives you satisfaction. But if you go on drinking every day, I mean, what will happen? You go on indulging in any sense objects, what will happen? So in that sense, wombs of sorrow, a very philosophical construction. So this is how you can educate yourself. Otherwise, somebody may say, when will I develop this passion towards the sense objects? Rightly so. It's a long process. It takes a while. But definitely in the meantime, you can educate yourself with these techniques and gradually understand that you have to put sense objects in the right place. So these were the qualities we discussed last week. Quality number 7, 8, 9, and 10. Qualities of a jnani. 20 qualities we are studying. So 10 qualities we have completed. So is class okay with these 4 qualities from what we discussed? Okay, excellent. So the next quality number 11, is called anahankara. Ahankar is ego, absence of egoism. Means no, absence. So that word in Sanskrit is equivalent of no in English. So very throughout Bhagavad Gita, they keep on using it. So it's a good word to know. Profit, non-profit. Compliance, non-compliance. Violence, non-violence. Vegetarian, non-vegetarian. So like that. So ahankar is ego. Ahankar is no ego, absence of ego. So that is quality number 11. We have discussed this quality number of times, but it's a powerful reminder to all of us that ego is nothing but undue focus on your personality, unnecessary importance you are giving to yourself. You have fallen in love with yourself. So in that sense, we are saying undue importance on your personality. Yes, whatever importance is due, you have to give. I mean, to transact with the world. But why are you obsessed on your personality? So that is ego. That is how ego functions. It's a claimant in you, which claims everything as mine. This is my body, this is my mind, this is my intellect. And then whatever. This is my family, this is my fitness, this is my lack of fitness, these are my emotions, these are my ideas, these are my ideologies, all the possessions. So therefore, we say it is a claimant in you which claims objects and beings of the world as mine. Actually, they're not yours. They exist on your own. But you say this is my garden. Garden is there. It is God's garden. Okay, you may be working on that garden. But why do you claim it as yours? This is my car. Yes, you need a vehicle to move about, but what is that, in that car which is yours? So, in that sense, it's a claimant in you. And individuality is created due to ego and sustained due to ego. 2 points you have to remember. The birth of anybody's individuality is nothing but ego. If you did not have an ego, you wouldn't have been born in the first place. So we often give example of wave and ocean, isn't it? Wave is nothing but ocean. A little bit of wave identifies with itself and starts asserting her personality. I'm so and so. So that is the separate. That's what creates the separation of the wave from the ocean. Actually, there is no separation. Wave is nothing but the ocean. And then it keeps on asserting her personality. I am a big wave, I'm a small wave, I am nobody, I am everybody, and whatnot. So, the birth of the wave and that continuation of the wave is nothing but the ego. So, similarly, where there is divinity, it is all pervading, there is nothing but divinity. You and I have identified with ourselves. That is the birth of the personality. And then we continue that identification throughout our life. I am this, I am that, I am everybody, I am nobody, or whatever. So, this is how the personality is created and sustained. The moment you create an ego, everybody has an ego. So, what happens? Ego creates mental agitations. That's the price you pay for being egoistic. More the ego, more the mental agitations, worry, anxiety, stress is all same. Less the ego, less of all this. So ego creates mental agitations. Number one, ego creates conflicts with the world. You cannot get along with other people. You create barriers, demarcations, and divisions. Where there is unity, you are creating diversity. In unity, you are creating diversity. You understand? That's what ego does. So, number one is ego creates mental agitations. Number two, due to ego, you cannot get along with the world, starting with your own family. If there is a problem between A and B, the bottom line is ego. And you carry that ego anywhere. You will have conflicts at home to begin with your partner, with your family members. You go to a workplace, you will have conflicts there. You start interacting with the members of society, community. Sooner or later, you'll create differences. You come to a spiritual field, religious field, eventually you will fall apart there also. You will have disharmonies, matter of time, if you are egoistic. So, but it's not necessary that everybody has to have conflict with others. Follow it very carefully. It depends on your personality. The worst conflict of ego is you have conflict with yourself. All mental wellness issues is a very flowery word. What is that? What does it mean? Bottom line is ego. So you start conflicting with yourself internally, you're torn apart. You may not have conflict with others. You start having conflict with your own personality. Why others, they are not listening to me? Why he said so and so about me? I'm nobody or whatever. That constant focus on yourself. Too much you are thinking about yourself is nothing but ego. So you may start having conflicts with yourself. Why God created me this way? Why I'm not good looking? Or could be anything. Why color of my hair is like this? Why at young age I lost my hair? Or too much of hair. That also could be the issue. Could be anything. It's a ridiculous problem. Or emotions. Why why people don't cater to my emotions, why people they don't believe in my ideas and ideologies. We can go on multiplying examples. So conflict within yourself. So you're torn apart. So therefore, spiritual path means liquidation of your ego and eventually elimination of ego. Elimination of ego is a very high state. Liquidation of ego is to begin with. This is what we all are doing. So ego is created because of what? Our ignorance. It's a product of our ignorance. It is maintained or it is sustained again because of our ignorance. Go back to the wave and ocean example. Wave is nothing but the ocean. So it is ignorance which creates its personality. Actually, there is no personality, there is no individuality. And then that wave keeps on maintaining that personality, asserting that personality due to ego, due to ignorance. So, similarly, due to ignorance, we have drifted away from divinity. And again, due to ignorance, we keep on maintaining that ego, asserting that ego. So, therefore, ego is a product of your own ignorance. And there are various, I'm not going into the in-depth analysis, but then from practical point of view, we use the word complexes. You could have either superiority complex or inferiority complex. This is how ego will manifest. You have to catch it by its manifestation. Or that attitude of I am the doer, and whatever is called as kartutva bhavana. I am the linchpin of everything. I alone exist. I am superior to others. This is how ego manifests at the level of action, emotion, and thought. And the problem is to understand you have an ego, you should not have an ego. That's the problem. Because no egoistic person will understand he or she has an ego, forget about addressing that issue. So, to understand, yes, I am a victim of my own ego, you should not have an ego, at least to some extent. So, therefore, with this knowledge, you must find out what is happening to you. Everybody has an ego. It's a question of more or less. So by its manifestation, find out how it is detrimental to you. So therefore, the first quality of a Jnani was humility, isn't it? So unless you are humble, you will not accept that you have an ego. Your spiritual journey will not start. If I feel I'm okay, why will I study scriptures? Only when I understand that, yes, I need guidance in life. I need to find out what these great masters they are saying. I need to work on myself. I need to improve myself. I need to become a better human being. So that is humility. So that is quality number 11. Next quality is, so we are on verse number 9. Verse number 9 mentions three qualities: dispassion towards sense objects, absence of egoism, and the 12th quality is perception of pain and evil of birth, disease, old age, and death. The word he uses is darshanam, perception. You have that understanding. Now, what does it mean? Repeat, we are studying quality number 12, which is part of verse number 9, the last quality in verse number 9. That understanding of life as it is. That's what it means. See, you're not a piece of stone, you're not wood, you're not metal. You're a living being. We all are living beings. So, what is that experience of life? Are you getting it? So, that experience of life is, it goes through 5 metamorphic changes. Poetically saying the perception of pain and evil meaning mental agitations of birth, death, old age, and disease. So, what he is talking about, what he's saying is life is constituted of 5 metamorphic changes. That is that experience of life. So, what are these 5 metamorphic changes? Birth, growth, decay, disease, and what is the last one? Very easy to guess.
Death.
Death. Whether we like it or not, somebody is waiting with the invitation. It's a matter of time. Everybody is in a line. When our turn will come, we don't know. Whoever is the conductor of that train, he decides. So, birth, growth, decay, disease, death. This is my life, this is your life. This is the life of any being, in fact. So, what that experience is, you have to have that understanding. This is how life is. Otherwise, we are a piece of stone or wood. Then where are metamorphic changes? So every stage of life is associated with a particular experience, starting with birth. No birth is easy. But the process of birth itself, talk to any mother here. Father will not understand. They may give lecture, but they will not understand what it means. A mother carries baby for 9 months, 9.5 months, or whatever. Is it 9 or 9.5 months?
9.5.
9.5 months. 9.5 months you carry that so-called weight. Pardon my language. It's not easy. Even for a child to come into the world, it's difficult to see. I mean, how the whole thing is done. And what is the guarantee that you'll be born as a normal person? I mean, without any issues. Most of us don't have any issues, so we don't understand. But there are millions and millions of children born with congenital diseases, some defect in the heart, or maybe you're distorted, or at birth you could be deaf or blind. Millions and millions of people are born like that. You and I are lucky, so we don't understand the importance of that. Or you could be born with your mental faculties are compromised right from the birth. So don't ask why. That's the experience of birth. That is how life is. Then the next stage of life is growth. You have to keep on putting efforts throughout your life. Somebody may say, I am born with a silver spoon in my mouth. If you don't put efforts, your entire personality will decay. Even to maintain yourself, you have to put efforts. To grow your faculties, everything. So throughout your life, you are in struggle. Even at the age of 50, 60, you have to update your knowledge. If you don't update your knowledge, nobody is going to hire you. They will say, okay, we'll hire a youngster. A lot of people are talking about AI. Either you adapt that in your profession, or you will be wiped out. I'm just giving you one simple example. So growth struggle is constant. Then there is decay, birth, growth, decay. Body has to decay. This is a law of life. Whether you like it or not, body has to decay. It is followed by disease, COVID-19 and this flu shot, that flu shot. Every week we get reminders from CVS pharmacy. Disease, if you don't take a shot, you may get that particular disease. And it's not necessary that it is in this order. Once you become 50, 60, 70, you'll start, there's decay, there is disease. No, even in the prime of your youth, you may get some strange disease and the whole is a decay. How many examples are there? There's no guarantee. And then, of course, the experience of death. Only thing is we can pray for quick death. Before we know what is happening, you should go. Otherwise, there is no guarantee. You may linger and be dependent on others. There is absolutely no guarantee that it will not happen to you and me. So, birth, growth, decay, disease, death. This is called experience of life. Now, if you don't understand it as it is, then you get into trouble. That is where education comes. He uses the word darshanam, perception. That does not mean you start expecting. So you are prepared. Nothing may happen to you. Maybe till 70, 80, 90, you may remain fit. There are people like that. Or at the age of 25, 30, 35, something may happen. So this knowledge prepares you to face life as it is. And then when he says perception of pain and evil, evil meaning mental agitations, he is talking about agitations at a mental level which you go through if your intellect is weak. If your intellect is weak, mind will overpower your personality at any level, physical level, emotional level, intellectual level. And you will go through mental agitation, stress, worry, anxiety. Weaker the intellect, more pronounced is your agitations. Sorrow and suffering, it is all self-inflicted. Unfulfilled desires create mental agitations. This is the definition of mental agitations or stress. Could be any desire. You may have a desire, I want to become a CEO of my company. There's nothing wrong with that desire. But if it is not fulfilled, are you going to be a frustrated person all life? Or it could be in a relationship. You have unreasonable expectations from your own spouse, from your own family members. And when they don't cater to your own emotions, you may have a frustrated life. Nothing wrong with them. It is your desire which is overpowering your personality. Again, if intellect is weak, desires can take various modifications. Like anger, if your desire is intercepted, you get angry. Or you could be jealous of people who are doing better than you in life. Or you may become arrogant towards people who are below you. Or greed may overpower your personality. So all these host of desires, they produce mental agitations if your intellect is what? Weak. But if intellect is powerful, so you will deal with that desire, you deal with your mind right in the beginning. So therefore, it is in your interest to develop a powerful intellect so that you're not victimized by mental agitations. That's what it means. So this knowledge prepares you to face life. You remain objective in various experiences of life. So you are calm and composed internally. You may go through some trauma at a physical level is beyond your control. I'll give you a simple example. For last 14-15 months, so I'm fighting frozen shoulder. It came out of absolutely nowhere. One thing could be, why me? I mean, I'm so fit, I eat so well, do proper exercise, whole life I've been doing. How come it came? Second thing is, you okay, it is there. Now you fight it. Be consistent. Okay, I have to come out of this. Could be anything. So knowledge prepares you to face life. You remain objective, you remain calm, composed, in spite of what is happening around you. So therefore we said it prepares you. You don't expect. If you expect, then you're a pessimist. But if you're prepared, then you're a nanny, then you're a wise person. So in that sense, you have to understand this quality, that perception of pain and evil, of birth, disease, old age, and death. The word evil means mental agitations. We'll chant verse number 10. Have we missed something? Verse number 9?
No, Michi.
Okay.
असक्तिरनभिष्वङ्गः पुत्रदारगृहादिषु नित्यं च समचित्तत्वम् इष्टानिष्टोपपत्तिषु असक्तिरनभिष्वङ्गः पुत्रदारगृहादिषु नित्यं च समचित्तत्वम् इष्टानिष्टोपपत्तिषु
Translation: non-attachment, asakti, non-infatuation with son, wife, or home, and constant balance of mind in desirable and undesirable happenings. So, three qualities he mentions in verse number, three more qualities he mentions here. So, 13, 14, and 15. So, the 13th quality of a jnani is asakti. See, throughout he will keep on using sakti is attachment, a meaning, not attached. Equivalent of non in English. We already discussed profit, non-profit, compliance, non-compliance. So, a jnani, a wise person, a person who is established in this knowledge, in the spiritual path, he is not attached to any objects or beings of the world. So the moment you are attached, it is an indication of your ignorance. So you may claim you are a scholar of Vedanta or whatever, it means nothing. So if you understand this concept correctly, you will be a peaceful person. Period. If you are attached, you will live a miserable life. And most people, they are attached to anything and everything. So how can you be peaceful? It has got nothing, your peace or lack of it has got nothing to do with external factors, objects and beings of the world. It is your attachment to objects and beings of the world, due to which you are torn apart internally. And it's a product of ignorance. how can you be attached to any object or a being which by nature, by default, it is impermanent? World is a passing phenomena. Objects and beings of the world, it is a passing phenomena. So how can you attach yourself to a particular object or a being mentally? It happens mentally. So it is prima facie absurd, that concept. It's like you want to hold on to a moving train. You know, a train has left the station and you want to hold on to the train, the railings of the train, the door of the train. I mean, how it is possible? The train has to leave the station. So therefore, if you are the moment you are attached to anything, it will produce worry and anxiety, mental sorrow. And if attachment is pronounced, you will live a miserable life. So you need to find out your pockets of attachment. Definitely you are attached to something or the other. And in certain areas it is more pronounced. You start a family, you get attached to the family. To begin with your spouse. Children, they come, you become terribly attached to your children. You earn wealth, you become attached to wealth. You get name, fame, you get attached to name, fame. You go to religion, you become attached to religion. So whatever you contact, you become attached to that. That's the nature of the mind. You need a powerful intellect. See, therefore, this analysis helps. That nothing in the world is permanent. So that's the language of the intellect. So what is this attachment? Attachment is nothing but mental bondage to objects and beings. It has got nothing to do with your association with the world. This is where people misunderstand. You could be with people all the time. You may have all the wealth, power, everything. But inside you are a picture of detachment because you have understood the impermanent nature of the world. So therefore, attachment is nothing but mental bondage. Understand this word, mental bondage to objects and beings of the world. You become dependent on the objects and beings of the world, and you lose your freedom. If you have that object or a being, you're happy. If that object or a being is not there, you are miserable. Or in many cases, the fear of losing that object or a being. So this is how you mentally bind yourself to everything around you. It's like if all of us are sitting on a chair, we often give this example. If you tie yourself to that chair with some rope or whatever, firmly, what will happen? What kind of a life it will be? You try to get up, the chair will get up with you. You try to walk, the chair will walk with you. You try to get into the car, chair also will try to get into the car. So this is what we all are doing mentally. It's a question of more or less. So therefore, when you meet a man or any person, see, it is not 100% person you meet. It could be only 20% personality. It could be only 40%, 50%, 80%. Rest of the personality is all full of attachment. So you carry that burden of worry and anxiety and fear and whatnot with you. That's what attachment does to you. If you're attached to your children, it's a terrible life as a parent. And 99.99% of you are attached to your children. It has got nothing to do with that relationship, that mental bondage. When they are with you, you're fine. When they are away from you, you're miserable. Or even when they are with you, you are miserable. That's what attachment does. You don't leave that person alone. That's the practical manifestation of attachment. Keep on hovering around them. And nowadays, thanks to the technology, whole day some parents they are in touch with their children. And that does not mean you should not call, you should not contact. So there is no relief for children or anybody, spouse for that matter. So you lose your freedom to attach yourself, to tie yourself mentally to objects and beings of the world. That chair example is a good example. And it is a product of ignorance. I am repeating myself. Attachment is a product of ignorance because of what? Why we keep on saying this?
I think we keep attachments for familiarity because we don't know what the future has.
The ego.
Mhm. Attachment is an indication of your ignorance, my ignorance. So why we say, I already explained that in detail. Why we say attachment is a product, is a proof of
So
your ignorance.
it's a mental bondage to objects and beings. It has nothing to do with association with people. It's basically the inner picture of a person with detachment and that understands the impermanence of things of the world. The world is changing, but still you're attached to it. That's the ignorance part, Amici.
One word answer. If I were you, I would give one word answer: impermanent. That's it. Objects and beings of the world are, by default, by nature, they are what?
Impermanent.
Impermanent. It's a passing phenomena. World is a passing phenomena. So how can you hold on to anything? So therefore, it's a product of our ignorance. What happens when you're attached? If you're attached to wealth, what happens? Nothing wrong with wealth. We keep on saying this. Wealth is a commodity which is necessary for sustenance. You can't sustain without wealth. But if you're attached, if you develop craving for wealth, if you become possessive about wealth, if you become attached to wealth, it's a terrible existence, isn't it? Earning wealth is a mental torture. The more you get, the more you want. Mind is never satiated. There is no satisfaction. How much you want? You don't know. So earning wealth is a torture if you're attached to wealth. Preserving wealth is a torture. Nasdaq goes up and down. You can go and take a CT scan. It will show. Those graphs will be like steel wires. You can see them in the CT scan. Parting with the wealth also is not easy. Every aspect of wealth, if you're attached, is a torture. Earning is a torture. Preserving wealth is a torture. Spending wealth is a torture. If you are attached to spouse and children, already discussed, so it's a terrible life. Otherwise, it's a wonderful union to have wife, children, family, or whatever. If you're attached to power, what happens? It doesn't need any explanation. You will do anything to get power. You will do anything to hang on to power. Enough examples we see in the world. You and I could be one such person. If you're attached to name, fame, what happens? I'm just throwing ideas at you so you can start analyzing. Otherwise, we can just say, okay, attachment, but what does it mean? So how it is affecting my life, your life? That's the analysis all about. So therefore, it's a miserable life. So detachment comes from knowledge of impermanent nature of the world. So the moment you understand world is a passing phenomena, automatically you become detached. Detached means you are in the world, But internally, you understand the ephemeral nature of everything. Then only you can have a wonderful relationship with the world, objects and beings of the world. So you become Sakshi. That's the word we often use. It's a good word to learn. Sakshi means objective. So you become a witness of the world. You become witness of perceptions, emotions, and thoughts. So that is the state of detachment. It's a product of your own growth. And then he continues. It's all the thought flow continues. Quality number 14. Non-infatuation with son, wife, home, etc. This is how attachment will manifest. It's used symbolically. This is what you have to understand. You can take it literally also, but he is using it symbolically. The easiest way to understand this quality is you're not possessive about your possessions. You may possess the whole world. You may be the wealthiest person, you may be the most successful person, you may have the beautiful house, everything is plus plus in your life. Why not? But you're not possessive about your possessions. So he's just discussing one such relationship. Wife and son, you marry a wife, and son or children, it is a product of that association. Are you with me? So similarly, you are married to your business, meaning you are in business. What is the product of that association? Profit and loss. So you could be terribly attached to profit and loss. The moment there is loss, you cannot handle it. Or your own career. You are married to your career. So what is the product of that union? Success. So you can't handle the moment you're threatened, you feel you're not successful the way you want to be. You can't deal with that. You could be talented, whatever talent, everybody has a talent. So the product of that is your achievements in that particular field. You could take to religion, and you can get attached to that union. Oh, so many people they are following my religion. So many people are attending Vedanta classes. I mean, and on and on. So you may have everything in life, but you are not possessive about your possessions. This is what we have to understand. Or you may not possess anything and you could be terribly possessive. Usually it is like that. The concept is misunderstood. You may be the emperor of the world, but you got nothing to do with power, wealth, whatever. And also you become possessive when you ignore others' contribution in your success. This is a very practical way to understand this quality. Like my success, my business. You don't know who I am. I am the head of this department. I'm a CEO of my company. I'm a talented sportsman, musician, whatever. Hundreds and hundreds of people have contributed to your success. Right from your childhood days, maybe your parents, they lived very simple, frugal life so that, they could send you to school or whatever, they could buy you a car. If you analyze, hundreds and hundreds of people have contributed to your success in the past and in the present. So you examine that and you say, okay, this is I am so and so. That statement has got absolutely no meaning, literally speaking. Last month I was in India, and I had bought a property 1.5 years back. We call it Vedanta House. Why I call it Vedanta House is because I have not spent more than 3 nights there. If I ask you how many days you have spent in my house in Pune, I don't know. Shailesh Bhai and Lakshmi ji, they are there. They have spent 10 days, 10 or 12 days. Again, this year they are planning to go. Jigar is not here. Yes, stayed there for 3-4 days. It's my property, but bought it for Vedanta. Whoever wants to visit India, wants to stay near ashram, they can stay there. But since I live in America, there's a tradition that we do housewarming. The word which we uses Vastu Shanti. And, housewarming somehow does not give that, sounds like a fun or party, But the Sanskrit word is Vastu Shanti. Vastu is house, Shanti is peace. So I invited a priest who was a lady, and they are known for explaining the meaning behind the ritual. It's not blind ritual, For 25 minutes, it was like minimalistic thing. So I was fascinated by her explanation. I may claim it is my house. So what is that ritual? I'm just giving you 2 or 3 main points. See, first of all, you're saying sorry or you're acknowledging that so many people, they have contributed to build that house. We're talking about labor, Maybe they went through some discomfort. Maybe some of them, we don't know, they were not paid properly, unconsciously, So we acknowledge that and we say, thank you for your contribution and please forgive me if, unconsciously, unwillingly, I could not take care of your needs. Then we are saying sorry to the earth, or we are acknowledging that earth has sacrificed that piece of land or trees. Without felling trees, how can you construct any house? Then we are apologizing to insects. We don't know how many insects were displaced or died, perhaps. If there is an anthill, we remove that anthill, thousands of ants or whatever died. So that's the ritual all about, saying thank you, sorry, thank you, sorry. I was amazed by that explanation of that lady priest. And I say it is my house. I have built it for Vedanta. Nonsense. I may have that attitude, So, in that sense, you're not possessive about your possessions. And then the next quality, we'll do it next week, quality number 15. Constant balance of mind in desirable and undesirable happenings. The word here to learn is sama. Sama means equanimity. Sakshi is objectivity. Similarly, sama, you must be equanimous in life. So it's a sign of knowledge. A wise person is sama, he is equanimous in best and worst of circumstances, because that is life. Life is nothing but pairs of opposites. World is nothing but pairs of opposites. We often use this construction, dandvas. Dandvas means pairs of opposites. That is life, that is world. There is heat, there is cold, there is profit, there is loss, there is joy, there is sorrow, there is birth, there is death, there is war, there is peace, there is honor, there is dishonor. This is what you will encounter. We all have to encounter. That's the nature of the world. So you're not affected by highs and lows of life. These pairs of opposites. That's the wisdom, that's the knowledge. But we are affected. So why we get affected is not because we encounter pairs of opposites. Superficially, yes, but it is our likes and dislikes which is the problem, not pairs of opposites. You like summer, 3 months you'll be happy in Michigan, 9 months guaranteed you'll be miserable. Okay, I'll make it 7 months. You like people to praise you. When they praise you, you're happy. When they don't praise you, you're not happy. You like particular type of a food. When you get that, you're happy. When you don't get that, you're not happy. You support political party A. When they are in power, you're happy. When they are not in power, you are miserable. People follow your ideas and ideologies, you're happy. When they oppose, you're miserable. We can go on multiplying the example. So it's not that these pairs of opposites which are bothering you. What is bothering you, what is producing mental agitations is what?
Your likes and dislikes.
Likes and dislikes. And you are a bundle of likes and dislikes. I'm a bundle of likes and dislikes. So how can you will be affected by the world. And world cannot cater to one person's likes and dislikes. I like summer, 3 months, so that I can go bike riding and whatnot. So there is no switch by which or email I can send to whoever is controlling that department. See, I love Michigan summer so much. Can you please extend it by few more months? You can't cater to one person's demand. I like to be pleased all the time. Everybody should be nice to me. How is it possible? So world cannot cater to your likes and dislikes. Even if you are a king of the world, still world will not cater to your likes and dislikes. The king may say, it's so nice, isn't it? I'm the most powerful person, most wealthy person. Can I live for 200 years? You may die at the age of 30 also. World cannot cater to your likes and dislikes. World is world. It's nothing but pairs of opposites. It's a very simple concept. So that's not a problem. That's not is bothering you and me. It is our likes and dislikes, raga dveshas. That's the problem. And these likes and dislikes, they bother us. And world cannot cater to any one person's likes and dislikes. So therefore, you are equanimous. You're even, you're balanced. And joy and sorrow, profit and loss. You understand it's part and parcel of life. So therefore, it is quality of a jnani. Are you getting the connection? So, did we cover the entire verse number 10, all the qualities?
Yes, Amit.
Yeah. So, we'll continue with verse number 11, which mentions, I think, 3 more qualities. So, how many qualities are left now? 5 more?
5.
Okay. So, next week, definitely we'll be able to complete 20 qualities. And then we'll continue with the rest of the chapter. So, there are a few announcements, and after announcements, I will give you maybe 5 minutes to clarify your doubts. Usually, we keep some time in the end for interaction. So, Radha, please announce.
Hari Om all. On October 11th, Sunday, we have a one-day retreat in Michigan, Holly, from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. We will have it with Amitji, and it's about transformation through self-effort. Please mark your calendars. You will receive more details and registration for this retreat soon. If you are local, do try and attend because it will be a great experience from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., including lecture, Q&A session, discussion, and breakfast and lunch included. Also, if you are traveling from out of town, do contact us and we can help if you want some pickup or ride to the retreat place. It is again in Holly, Michigan. Last Thursday, you must have received an email from Vedanta Midwest requesting for a contribution to support the cause of Vedanta in America. This timeless wisdom has been made accessible to many individuals and communities across the US with weekly study classes, public lecture, youth programs, and personal guidance, and also retreats. If you have benefited from this knowledge and feel inspired, we will appreciate your contribution as per your capacity. If you don't want to make a one-time contribution, we request you and we encourage you to contribute monthly. If you set up a monthly contribution, it is easier for you as well as the institute. Please go through the email for further details and please contribute as per your capacity. Thank you.
So any questions? I'll give you 5 minutes.
Yeah, hi, Amanji. So
Yeah, hi.
I had a question. You kept saying impermanent, using the word impermanent. What is the difference between impermanent and temporary? Is there a difference?
Same.
Okay. And Sakshi, I've always heard as a witness.
Yeah, correct. Sakshi means witness. You're a witness. Opposite of Sakshi, witness is getting involved. Profit and loss. Simple example.
Hmm.
If you're objective, you will witness profit and loss. Meaning you understand. Business is nothing but profit and loss. That's the meaning of Sakshi. Otherwise, when there is profit, you get super excited. When there is loss, you get super dejected. So opposite is getting involved. So Sakshi is you witness, you understand. So it is your intellect which is supervising your mind. That's the actual and correct explanation. Easy to understand.
So your intellect, which is managing your mind.
It's an emotion, right? Mind is nothing but feelings and emotions. So when there is a profit, naturally you will feel happy. There is no need to get too excited about it. So you understand that, okay, yeah, yes, there's a profit, it's a nice thing. Maybe next year there could be a loss. Otherwise, if there is a loss, you tell yourself that's the nature of business. Giving you one example. So it is end of the day, it is your intellect which is managing the mind. Otherwise, mind overpowers the intellect and you lose your objectivity.
Thank you. Yeah, that makes sense. Thank you.
So all clear? Okay, great. So I will see you either tomorrow for governing business and relationships class or next week on Saturday. Have a great weekend, all of you.
Thanks, Amitji.
Thank you, Amit.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.